Hello everybody, welcome on back to NBA 2K24 Random Rosters here on youtube.com/ShaunosaurusRex, where Mondays and Wednesdays you can catch double headers of NBA action. So be sure to scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks so much for hanging out. We're 3 weeks away from Christmas, by the way. Gross. Let's see. It is December 4th, and we might have a bit of an issue here. We have some games to watch today. That's what's important. We will be checking out. We will be taking a look at the Detroit Pistons taking on the Charlotte Hornets, and then we will head down or up to Toronto to watch the Heat take on Wemby and the Toronto Raptors, which I don't think we're okay. Yeah. The issue that we're going to run into here is that there are no games on December 6th for some reason. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the in-season tournament, which I probably should have turned off when I turned the game on. But I also don't know if there is an in-season tournament going on, which games are in-season tournament games. I can't figure it out. And it seems like this schedule in our game will relink with like the regular schedule in about a week. So there's that. I think next Monday is where it like kind of resyncs on the 11th. But yeah, we're not in a great spot at the moment, but we'll see what happens after today, and maybe things will sort themselves out a little bit. Why are you so off, Elgato? What are we doing? All right, Hornets, Pistons. That is what we are going to start today off with. We'll jump in here. I'm not going to give anybody any fancy uniforms. We'll just go with the regulation stuff for the day.
Fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you exciting NBA action. Two NBA greats, Grant Hill and Steve Smith, our analysts tonight, with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
It's a weird,
I'm Brian Anderson. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Charlotte
weird logo.
Hornets. On Thursday, they'll begin a road
play
trip
two
starting in
in a row
Chicago,
against the Heat?
going up against the Bulls. And then Monday, they head back home to host the Miami Heat.
That's weird.
Some might look at this schedule and already mark off how many wins they'll get, but I think that's a mistake. You can never take a night off in the NBA. Even the ones you think will be easy are tough.
A look at the starting group
Even
for
the
the
games
Pistons.
you think are easy
Wagner
are
is
tough.
out there with Kevin Durant. Then there's Dyson Daniels. Then it's Jared Allen. And it's Dinwiddie in at the point. And for the Hornets, Luka Doncic is out there with Tyler Hero. Then it's R.J. Barrett. Then it's Tari Eason. And it's Capella in at the center position. Still very early in the regular season. But, Grant, what's the most important thing coaches are working on at this stage?
You know, at this point, it's all about really just getting your rotation set, finding which guys work best together. You know, you have to figure out how to maximize.
So there we go.
you have.
Tip is off. I'm going to have to
Now here's
friggin'
Doncic.
do this and mute the camera
Coming
again.
off a terrific
I don't know.
game
I'm
against
super
Minnesota.
sneezy this morning. We're in Buzz City. I like this court design.
Barrett finds Eason.
Eason for three. Can't get us to
Offline with
go.
three.
Oh, that
And here's
sucks.
Wagner. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. Pass to Daniels. Outside Durant. It's Dinwiddie on the wing. Allen with a screen on Doncic. Here's Dinwiddie. Plenty of space. With nobody on him, he buries that jumper.
And now the game is really starting to flow. We should be in for a good one.
How good is it to see the first one go through the net?
Now here's Barrett. Looking at the numbers, he's putting up 7 points a game. Kicks it to Doncic. Hero outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The rebound by Allen. And here's
It's
Detroit.
interesting to
Last
hear
time
them
they
say
came
that
together
the
was in
game is
Charlotte,
starting to get
where they
into
fell
a
to the
flow.
Hornets.
2-0, not even a minute into it. Kevin Durant working with the ball here.
Struggle big time.
Reason why that opens up driving
Kick
lanes.
out to Dinwiddie.
Makes it dangerous for teams
A little
to
surprising that the
post.
Detroit Pistons aren't playing better with Kevin
More
Durant.
dynamic.
Doncic tries to rotate around, and Barrett comes up with the rebound, playing the... Nope, it's not. It's the wrong team. For some reason, I knew it was Detroit. I wrote down Detroit. I prepped for Detroit, and then I was like, oh, they're playing the New York Knicks. No, they're not. They're not. Not at all. Not even close. But good try. Hero for three. He buries it. And it is a 1-point lead for the Charlotte Hornets. Really nice pass there by Luka Doncic. I like the kind of like... I like the, oh, I went up and this was a mistake, and then throw it down more accurately than like straight into the ground like I did. But
decent looks, but the shots just
You know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes it goes like
10
that.
turnovers and 40%
Really
field
got
goal.
into a rhythm despite
Nice
trying
move
a
there
few
for
different
Kevin
things.
Durant.
Sometimes
The cupcake
it's just
himself.
not your night.
The Hornets have gone 1 for 3 so far. And reconstructing their roster, Smitty, Detroit's had some high picks to work
Detroit is not doing well in the NBA. I feel bad for them. They have like 3 wins,
When you rebuild through the draft, it
like a
really takes
15-game
time.
losing streak.
Now here's Doncic.
They're trying to build
They look
something.
to him to score consistently, averaging around 13 and a half.
Oh
a
man,
game.
he came flying. Is that Jared Allen?
And we're starting to see some fire from Barrett. A tremendous sign for this team.
I don't think it is. No, it is. I believe. It is Allen. Okay.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Durant looking
Tried to
around.
come in, flying in for that block, but couldn't get to it. Durant one-on-one on the outside. Spins around to the baseline.
Down low.
Brings it back inside just enough to get a clean look and bury the two. Detroit said, you know what, Kevin Durant, you go ahead and have it on the outside. No worries.
He can help with that.
Here's Capella.
Oh, pardon me. Clint Capella into Doncic. Doncic draws the double team. Kicks back outside to Hero. Better rotation there by Detroit to make sure that he is guarded. Capella's going to come set the screen. Jared Allen lurking. Kind of used the screen, but
Beautiful form on that
kind of
jump shot.
that's an interesting way to see a team use the screen. Of kind of like, we're going to hit the screen and you're going to move a step and a half.
With a 9-footer.
And you're kind of still blocked by your own player, but I guess better than a hand in your
He
face.
puts constant pressure on your defense.
Charlotte's gone 2 for 3.
60 and 80% scoring for each of these teams, Hornets and Pistons. Kevin Durant just drove the floor to tie the game.
Back to Doncic.
Not a whole lot happening from Doncic so far. He's got a couple of nice passes out of some trouble.
Just 5 on the clock.
Again, draws the double team and quick pass out. Barrett, he gets the shot off as the clock was winding down. A little too strong off the back iron. The Pistons will bring the ball back up the floor. Dinwiddie with Doncic on him. He's going to get the screen.
Dinwiddie with it.
Nice little pick and roll. Somehow that was not a travel by Allen. Jarrett Allen. I apologize. I said Jarrett. I've been wrong for years. Jarrett Allen. Double T at the end.
Here's
You got it.
Doncic. He'll bring it up for Charlotte. Trailing by 2. They want to keep rolling here.
Clint Capella.
Following a win against Minnesota.
And at the offensive
RJ
end,
Barrett
they
drive it
were
around
lights out in
inside
that
to
game.
Capella. I don't really know why he passed that ball.
You know, I love
It
what
looked
the
like
coaches did tonight.
he
They
had.
pushed the right buttons
Oh, well, I guess it
time
was
again.
Jarrett Allen. Good opportunity for me to correct myself and get into the habit of not being an idiot.
35
You know?
seconds left to play in the first.
10-10 here.
Wagner against Barrett. Wagner outside. Pass to Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie to Durant.
Outside.
Allen's
Durant.
going to come up and set the screen. It's going to put Capella on him. A bit of a double team there. Actually, a very nice rotation by the Charlotte Hornets on that defensive set there. Thought it was going to be an easy pick and roll, but they defended it very well.
And another basket for
And
Charlotte.
Doncic knocks down the 2 to take the lead with .2 to go. So an exciting first quarter, high-scoring first quarter. I think it's a well-balanced first quarter between good offensive plays, nice passes, and really good defensive rotations, so the offense didn't feel like they were so overpowered. That was a solid 5 minutes of basketball. And it's going to lead to a lead for Buzz City by 2. We'll see which part of the video gets copyright claim this week. I don't know what to do about the 6th. I'm hoping that one of these are the in-season tournament, but there's no mark or indicator of what is what. So it's a very weird scenario to be in. Shout out to the Hornet out there, getting everybody
We'll
hyped.
see if either of these teams can jump out ahead in this second quarter. Taking a
Well,
look at the Hornets'
one team's
performance
already
here,
jumped
guys.
out ahead.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, what a first quarter. You love their willingness to make the extra pass.
That's really hard on a defense, having to play deeper into the clock and having to cover a lot more ground.
The Pistons trailing. They've got Jonathan Isaac, also Isaiah Jackson out there. And it's Abaji in at the 2. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Hornets. Doncic outside. Down low. Here's Isaac.
Quick possession there for the Detroit Pistons, but a good defensive set on the other side to not fall further behind than 2. See what they can do on the offensive end this time around. No Durant. Oh, no, Kevin Durant is on the floor. I apologize. I lost track of where he was. He comes up empty, and Doncic brings the ball up the floor.
Here's Koloko.
Koloko working with it. Doncic back at the top of the three-point line. He's going to take a clean look at a 3, but can't get the ball to drop. We're about a minute in here. Both teams 0 for 4 combined. Trying to drive inside. Jackson with an excellent swat. You can hear it in the sound design because this game is perfect. Very weird lob pass there. I don't know how that didn't get tipped or picked or anything. I mean, Kevin Durant is like 7 feet tall, and he's right there the whole time. Abaji going to come away with the 2 points. And the Hornets extend the lead with the first made basket of the second quarter.
No points yet. Pass to Durant. The ball's not
Oh, wow. Another steal by this pesky Charlotte Hornets team. He's going to try and drive on Kevin Durant. Gets him off his feet. High off the glass and in. And it's a nice little run here for the Charlotte Hornets.
Using his body to create good looks inside.
Here's the Pistons with the ball. 6-point game. Jackson against Durant. Smitty, you had your
Sure looks like Durant has the speed. Oh, man. Wow. It really looked like Durant had the speed. What's the word? Advantage there against that defender. And then he just couldn't get the shot to go. I mean, it's good defense to just make sure you're not ever that out of position that you're letting him blow by him or giving him too clean of a look.
Pass to Thomas.
But Durant probably should have been more aggressive there. Thomas is going to work the pick and roll with Yurtsman. Can't connect on the shot inside. So the Charlotte Hornets will bring the ball back up the floor. They've held this Pistons squad scoreless for the last nearly 3.5 minutes or so. I know we're halfway through the second quarter. They missed a couple of shots coming out of the end of the first quarter.
It's going to go on Omer. You're 7.
He had 7. I was way wrong on the pronunciation. I apologize. Doncic is going to go to the line for 2. Luka.
That's good from Doncic.
Knocks the first one through, and we'll see some substitutions on the bottom of your screen there.
Luka Doncic is one of the few guys in that category.
And the Pistons making a change here. Jared Allen, he's checked in for your 7.
And that one goes through as well. So
Daniels is checked in for Thomas.
I want to say the Pistons were up by 2, so like a 10-0 run, but it's definitely an 8-0 run. And they have outscored this Pistons squad in the first half of the second quarter 6-0.
The assist leaders in the association.
Doncic with 5.6 assists a game. James Harden up there. Chris Paul, Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton. Rounding out that top 5 as we skip into the game. 2:22 to go here in the second quarter. Lots of 2s on the clock.
And we're now a little over 2.5
Pistons
minutes
find
into the
Dinwiddie,
second.
who immediately ends up in a double team. Hayward on the floor.
Hayward against Doncic.
He's going to drive Doncic into the double team, and they're going to call a foul on Eason. He's going to pick up his first personal, first team foul. Shot clock will reset to 14 seconds off of the reach-in foul. Dinwiddie again with the ball. He'll find Daniels.
Here's Daniels. He's scoreless.
Allen down in the key, moves out. Daniels versus Luka. Kicks out to Wagner.
From deep.
Oh my gosh, okay, well, he made it. I was going to say, I don't know that that's the guy you want in that spot, but he knocks down the 3 to end the scoreless streak. cut that lead down to 5, 18 to 13. Kevin Durant now not on the floor for sure. Allen lurking in the paint, throws into Capella. Capella blocked by Allen. Allen comes away with a loose ball and throws it up to Haywood.
One reason this game is so tight is because both teams are hitting the
Dinwiddie
boards
works
with
around the 3-point line. He'll find Hayward. Nice screen by Allen. Frees up Hayward for 3, and back-to-back threes have the lead down to 2. Big sequence of plays here for Detroit. A desperation 3 that goes. Sometimes you need the ball to bounce your way. Terrific defense by Jarrett Allen on the other end to make it an empty possession. Come back around. Better look at a 3, and Gordon Hayward knocks it down. Charlotte Hornets take their first time out. And there will be some substitutions, I think. The Hornets will try to stop the bleeding a little bit. I like the timeout there. It's 3 not great, 2 bad defensive possessions, 1 bad offensive possession. Call a timeout, settle down, get reset, see if you can figure out how to get back into the rhythm you were in to build that 8-point lead. Pistons squad looking a little bit better without Durant on the floor. Allen comes away with the rebound, and Durant's back on the floor. So
Wagner against Barrett.
Wagner working on the outside.
Wagner outside. Pass to Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie into Durant. Durant loses the ball. That's the second time he's had his pocket picked today.
Here's Hero.
Hero on the inside, blocked. Terrific sequence there for the Detroit Pistons on the defensive side. Dinwiddie for 3 in the lead. Can't get it. Isaac brings it up the floor. See if this Charlotte Hornets team can settle down offensively. Barrett. Looking like Capella's coming over to set the screen. Allen, oh boy, he just got the shot up at the buzzer. Pretty bad. What a weird, that was a weird quarter. That was all Charlotte in the first half, all Detroit in the second half.
Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie
What?
LaForce. Allie.
Thanks, guys. Clint, an outstanding first half for this team at the defensive end of the floor. What was the key?
Just be consistent. Defensive rebounding was one of our keys tonight, and it's just the start. So we're going to try to stay locked in on it. We know this is our key in our transition to make a stop here and run. So we're just going to keep going.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Allie. After the break, we'll see you right back here to begin quarter number 3.
They have been disruptive and aggressive on the defensive end of the floor. I love the intensity that they played in Charlotte.
Come on, game.
I mean, God.
Let me get through this.
Right,
By the way, this happened today. Big trade. Rudy Gobert goes to the Pacers. Bruce Brown, Robert Covington over to the Kings. Nice little touch of presentation there. Doncic 6-1 and 2. Durant 6-1 and 0. Those are your top performers. As each team scored 6 points in that quarter there. Very weird quarter. Excellent job by the Pistons to make sure that the Hornets didn't start running away with this game. They maintained, they kept it close enough, you know. It's an 18-16 game.
I mean, you can't even contain him. He's been that great.
They let that lead balloon to 8, but a couple of key threes down the stretch, some nice blocks. Good recoveries on defense after poor offensive possessions. Keeping this Pistons team in it.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime.
They made some adjustments between the quarters because offensively both teams were looking pretty good in that first quarter. Oh, and that was another quick possession for the Detroit Pistons offensively to start the quarter. And then the Charlotte Hornets are going to one-up it by throwing it up immediately. Charlotte has not scored in nearly 3 minutes. And Kevin Durant slams it home. Nice assist there. Great find and better positioning by Durant to get inside Capella and jam it home. Now that we've hit the 4:30 mark, this team, the Charlotte Hornets, has not scored in 3 minutes. And they're going to call a reach in on Jarrett Allen.
Past all that, honestly. I have one goal. Everything else can wait. People that are going to prom, they're going to be there. The toughest part is just staying my age, but also being older than I am. Brian?
Allie, you look at him, mature beyond his years. Thank you.
Capella.
And here are the Hornets now.
Eason, nice. Oh, I thought it was going to be a nice find. It wasn't a good pass. Dinwiddie had a shot at the loose ball, but couldn't come up with it. Would have been a huge turnover in favor of the Detroit Pistons. But
listen, put the ball in the hands of your best scorers and let them go to work. Keep it simple.
KISS, keep it simple. Stupid, great advice hurts my feelings every time. Doncic isolated on the defensive side up top. Daniels with Hero on him. Jarrett Allen, quick passes around, but there wasn't really much of a good look to be had there. Probably a little too much isolation basketball happening for this Detroit Pistons team. They just kind of stand around until it's crunch time, and then they got to go. Oh, there it is. Capella on the inside. That was a weird play. Didn't look like it got set up super cleanly, but the end result is what you're looking for. Capella at the rim for 2.
Right around a minute and a half played in the third quarter. Detroit calls timeout.
Detroit will call a timeout here, down 4 with 3:28 to go here in quarter number 3.
And defense is all about will and desire. Here are the
steals per
leaders
game.
in
Jimmy
steals
Butler
so
up
far.
top. LeBron James up there. Caruso.
Doncic
number 2.
Why
Why do I need to push the A button 2 to 3 times to get through a timeout? Why? That might be my least favorite thing about this game is the pass-ins out of timeouts are so slow. Oh, there it is. Durant screaming down the floor there. Nice pass.
Of anything is probably a good idea.
And here's Doncic. He'll bring it up for Charlotte. The lead is 2.
Doncic to step inside the 3-point line. He'll knock it down to push the lead back out to 4.
At the offensive end, 3 for 4.
Good to see this Charlotte team come in, get back into a bit of a rhythm after not scoring for several minutes in game, or game time, I should say.
Durant with it.
Durant with a nice lob.
Here's Daniels.
Or the catch off the lob.
Allen with a screen on Hero. 4 on the clock. Daniels. That one's
Hero with
true.
a nice find. We have an injury here for Daniels. He is
Under 2.5 minutes gone
pulling
by
a
in the
hamstring
third
or
quarter.
something. He should be.
Timeout call, the
Hornets going to
Hornets.
call a timeout for some reason. Actually bailed the Pistons out because it did look like, yeah, there is an injury. Looked like Daniels was going to come up limping there. And then Charlotte called the timeout.
Making a change here. Isaac's checked in. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Scoot Henderson's checked in for Daniels.
So an interesting wrinkle there.
Doncic outside. Pass to Hero.
Good job by the Charlotte Hornets team to kind of keep this Pistons teams at bay. They made a little bit of a run here at their
Back to
lead,
Doncic.
but they've been doing a good job responding.
Doncic is doubled.
Allen
Hero
switches
all the way.
on. It's going to be a double team. It's a bad pass. Dinwiddie comes up with it. The problem is Dinwiddie plays for the Pistons, so it's a turnover. Henderson up and in, and it'll tie the game at 24.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Barrett was looking like he was in okay position and just a better
Clock
shot.
keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half. now.
Hero
And in most other
brings the
draft
ball
classes,
up the floor.
Scoot Henderson
He can be your hero, baby.
Yeah, he has the talent and skill you want in a number 1 overall pick. Circumstance of the class drops him down. He has everything you look
Doncic
for
was
in a
going to try and
franchise
drive.
safety.
Clock at
He's
6.
going to back down off the glass, and that was too easy.
Throughout the evening, he's gotten to his
Too easy.
spots, and the defense has not adjusted.
The Pistons have gone 4 of 6 from the floor in this third quarter. Wagner, the pass to Allen. Dinwiddie outside. Back to Allen. And the basket's good. Off the assist from Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie's got 4 assists in the game. Charlotte is shooting a nice 50% for the game. Doncic outside. Capella screen on Henderson. And he's going for the oop here.
So many of the points Capella scores are out of the pick and roll.
There's 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Isaac against Durant.
Back just in time to see that nice play for the Charlotte Hornets. Capella flushing the beautiful lob pass to get the 2-point lead back. Nice defensive possession to force a miss. Doncic behind Capella buries the 3 in 5 straight. Give them a 31-26 lead as we approach 30 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Kevin Durant.
Durant against Isaac. Pass to Wagner.
Pass to Wagner. Got Luka Doncic on fire over there. RJ Barrett is fighting through that screen like you would not believe. He's going to steal the ball, Doncic is. I don't know why I said that like a 1930s radio broadcaster.
Barrett finds Hero.
He's going to hit the ball in a second, he is. A 10-2, the Yankees win.
Defended by Henderson.
He's on fire, and he can't make the shot. I believe that extinguishes his fire, but he does get the foul, or he does draw the foul.
And you can't let
And
Doncic get this type of
he'll go to the
positioning,
line for
because
2.
then you're pretty much forced to foul him.
Oh, he's on fire. He's still on fire. No one brought out the extinguisher just yet. My bad. We'll see some substitutions,
Doncic
both on the Pistons and for the Hornets. 2.9 to go here in quarter number 3.
And so it's Charlotte closing out this quarter.
So a big stretch, 7-0 run to close out the quarter there.
Shooting it well. That's why
And that will send us to the fourth quarter. Sometimes I think, for me personally, when I look at the starting lineups or see who's on the floor, you go like, oh man, how is this team this record, right? I think you're kind of seeing why with the Pistons. Like, they make good runs every once in a while, but they also don't do a great job at stopping runs at times. Whereas I think Charlotte's done a much better job at weathering the storms. But we'll see what the fourth quarter brings.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the
State
game.
Farm assist of the
I'll tell you what,
game.
this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed.
Yeah.
Couldn't place it.
I didn't even know that that's the
This is
assist of
why
the
you
game. There
preach
was an
teamwork.
alley-oop.
Some of the most spectacular plays are the ones where guys are feeding.
It was
off
a really
one another.
solid assist. Okay.
The fourth
We are
quarter
set.
has
5 minutes to go here to decide this game. The Charlotte Hornets come into the fourth quarter with a 5-point lead, 33-26. The Pistons have been pesky, and the Charlotte Hornets have gone cold a couple of times here. The back end of the second quarter and the first half of the third quarter were pretty rough. That was a bad 5-minute stretch. They did get some points, but it wasn't great. We're going to see a timeout immediately as they are down 9 right out of the game. Both teams very quick on their first possessions to start the quarter. We saw the Pistons basically run up the floor, take a shot, and I don't think they made either of them. And then, of course, Charlotte comes in and they make their first shot immediately. And so they call a timeout. Blimp cam.
Checked in for Charlotte. A moment to hear from
Best cam. Because it's indoors. Is there a blimp here? Ali
They
LaForce.
took a laid-back approach to the huddle, telling the team everyone thinks this game is over, so just go out there and let it rip. Let's see what we can do. And I think the players love that message.
Everyone thinks this game is over. With 4:39 down 9, no one thinks that. Come on.
Pass to Durant.
I certainly don't think so. I certainly don't hope so. I hope there's some fight here in this Detroit team.
Thomas passes to Yurt-7.
Ooh, Yurt-7's going to get...
And a bit of a battle for the ball.
How was that not a jump ball 5 seconds prior? Feels like an NFL official calling forward progress stopped. Oh, that is a just disastrous turn for the Detroit Pistons. They call a timeout. They get not a terrible matchup inside with Yurt 7, and then it's a jump ball, which is a good play by the Charlotte Hornets.
So we'll see how they move forward, Brian.
And then they lose it. I mean, it's just a disastrous... the first quarter of this game was so good, but it's been so streaky since. Solid first half of the second quarter for the Charlotte Hornets. Solid back end of the second quarter for the Detroit Pistons. The Charlotte Hornets were bad in the first half of the third quarter. Then they pick it up in the second half of the third quarter. And it's just been opposites ever since the end of the first quarter, and it's very weird. We saw the statistic down there at the bottom if you were looking. But we're approaching the 3-minute mark where the Detroit Pistons have not scored a basket. They're going to foul Jackson, sending him to the line.
It's going to go on Omer Yurt 7.
And Yurt 7 will pick up a personal foul there. 2 shots from the line.
Activity has been at a constant level. Always around the ball. Quick hands causing a lot of steals.
And they've also been so active defensively.
First free throw is good. Jarrett Allen coming in.
Scoring off of them.
Taking every opportunity I can to correct myself.
And the switch here also for Detroit. Allen's checked in.
Ten-point lead. Oh, I apologize for not skipping that.
That one misses.
Durant comes away with the rebound, and we'll see if Detroit can make a bit of a push here. They probably realistically need to get a 5-0, maybe 7-0 run here in the next 2:20 or so. I guess +7. +7 over the next couple of minutes. Durant has not looked good today. I mean, that shot not really counting towards my thought process. He's lost a couple of... Oh my goodness. Are you serious? He's lost a couple of possessions because of steals against him, and then he gets the foul. And that just kind of feels like it's how it's gone for the Pistons. The Charlotte Hornets have been excellent about picking their times to swat the ball away. And then, of course, the Detroit Pistons try, and it's a foul.
2 minutes gone in the fourth. Here's Hero.
Hero up and over. He's going to push this lead out to 12, and these Pistons are just falling apart. Now that +7, even more imperative. You got 1 minute and 50 seconds. Try and cut this lead down. They're going to call a shooting foul on Eason. So it'll be an opportunity for Detroit to end this scoreless streak. And unfortunately for them, it's going to be from the free throw line and not with a bucket.
The raw talent of Kevin Durant is mind-blowing. You can throw anything at him, and he'll get it done.
Both shots good from the stripe.
When your bigs can make
that'll
free
cut the lead
throws,
down to
it's
10.
a huge advantage. Love his approach to getting to the line.
Detroit's had some good strings of defensive possessions. They could use a couple right here.
Doncic with it. He's covered by Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie cannot stay with him. Dinwiddie, I mean, it's a good job to get the foul, make sure that he doesn't get the basket and the foul. But, I mean, Dinwiddie just did not look like he stood a chance with Doncic screaming down the lane. 4 for 4 on the free throws for Doncic, who has 17 points tonight. Make that 18 and 5 for 5. And the second free throw is good. Lead back out to 12.
Outside Durant. Allen with a screen on Easton.
Durant thought about the three, but passed it up, which is a little surprising. We'll try and use the screen to free up Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie got it. All right.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
We need 2 good possessions. 2 good defensive possessions, 2 good offensive possessions. That's a much better defensive effort there by Dinwiddie. Good job staying up. I don't think it's a great offensive possession by Luka Doncic.
Doncic against Dinwiddie. Here's Daniels.
Isolation ball. Daniels, he has the injury kind of plaguing him a little bit. That's a wonky pass out to Durant, but it works. They are taking way too much time here. Wagner hits up the three, but he can't get it to fall. 1:33 to go here in the fourth quarter, and a game the Charlotte Hornets have taken over. They're trading around the outside. Hero for three. Got it. That should just about do it. Detroit kept themselves in it for about as long as they could. They just went ice cold from the floor. Offensively, I just don't think this team looks good. 14 points for Kevin Durant, only, or all 12 of them, excuse me, coming through, or coming in the paint. So
they're up by 10. 1:09 left in the fourth quarter.
And this is a game they can build off of. They kept their focus all game long, and it will get marked as a win for the Hornets.
I was really
RJ Barrett back on the floor.
Competitive game. They battled through every step.
Hero thought about it. He wanted to take that three.
Big time effort and energy. I mean, just a tremendous performance.
And we'll see another timeout as this game is over. Match A to try and get through all of this as quickly as possible. 45-33. We're going to look at the point spread throughout these quarters for the Detroit Pistons, and they had, I believe they had 10 in the first quarter. They had 23 after that.
He may have gambled a bit, but sometimes you have to take chances to make plays. And
it's going to be a foul on Eason. That'll send Durant to the line.
And he makes a first. A new lineup here for Charlotte.
Piling up
and
the
a new group getting ready for the Pistons.
Piling up the points for Kevin Durant, padding them stats.
Gordon Hayward comes in
as
for
we see
Wagner.
large
Thomas,
substitutions for both of these teams.
And it's Henderson in for Dinwiddie.
Hands on the controller, ready to go. Ready to get us into game number 2. We're going to Toronto. Heat Raptors coming up next, and then I got to figure out what to do for the other video. It's a nice job by Yurt7, kind of just in the way.
Honestly, they're just down by too much to mount a comeback.
Durant inside, outside to Henderson. That's a really nice pass right there. They're down 7 now. This is the stretch you needed about a minute and a half ago. There's no reason for them to foul. This game is over. I think if you could have forced a turnover there before they got to the half court, maybe, but... Oh, Graham for 3. Okay, well, that's an unnecessary dagger.
They fought hard, and during the most important moments, they made big plays.
Especially during this last run, which ultimately
Durant
put the
off
game away.
the mark for 3. Yurt7. I don't know why he ran back out to the three-point line. Just pad your stats a little bit. Pick up a couple free points.
Yes, so true. They put on a show here at home. And I really think they had that extra swagger and confidence, too.
And now we have Allie LaForce standing with the player of the game. Allie, take it away.
Luka, yes, another victory for you, but the games will keep coming. So what's the most important thing for this team to establish?
I mean, compete, you know, the way we compete today from the start till the end. The game is never over, and just compete.
Well, you put together a full game tonight, and it paid off, guys.
All right, Allie, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Allie LaForce.
I don't know if they put together a full game, but they did put together a win. They had some cold stretches, but they did, like I was talking about a little bit ago, they did do a much better job at weathering those storms, calling good timeouts, getting good plays in, and limiting the damage that the Detroit Pistons were able to do. Whereas Detroit didn't have quite as much luck. They had some timeout plays that were, or some plays out of timeouts, I should say, that were pretty rough. And some of those possessions to start the quarter for Detroit were pretty bad. They also had some bad turnovers and not a lot of help for Kevin Durant. So yeah, he had 16 on 6 of 13 shooting. Nobody else really came close. Dinwiddie, Henderson, and that is it. So that will be game number 1 today. We'll go back to the daily view. Hornets all over the Detroit Pistons, who surprisingly had multiple quarters of double-digit point scoring, which I am very surprised by. 48-38 your final there. We're going to head to Toronto to check out the 8-12 Miami Heat taking on the 14-6 Toronto Raptors. And we'll jump into this one.
Basketball fans, please welcome the starting
Oh, we get a starting lineup.
at the point position, 6'4", number 3, Kevin Porter Jr. At the small forward position, 6'7", number 22, Andrew Wiggins. Starting at the undercard, at 6'3",
6'3",
32,
1 inch shorter than your host, Shaunosaurus Rex.
man in the middle, 7'4", number 1,
7'4"? Are you kidding me?
starting at the other forward position,
7'4"?
6'10", number 13, Jerry Jackson Jr.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. We'll watch the Toronto Raptors in this one as they go up against the Miami Heat. Alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And on the sidelines, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Here's what Miami has lined up on their schedule. On Tuesday, they'll face off against Ben Simmons and the New York Knicks. Then on Monday, they'll be taking on Clint Capella and the Charlotte Hornets.
And looking at the Hornets matchup, that's where you have got to bring your A game, especially when you know you're going to be fighting an uphill battle all night long.
So with Williams on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Lou Dort out there with Jared Vanderbilt. Then it's Jalen Brunson. Then there's Jaylen Brown. And it's Okongwu in at the center position. And for Toronto, Porter is out there with Anthony Simons. Then it's Andrew Wiggins. And there's Jackson. And it's Wembanyama in at the 5 spot.
Wembanyama is 7'4". That is wild.
Season. How big of a challenge
Would be
now is the
absolutely mad
It's a huge
to
one.
stand
The
next to him.
reality is all of
Just
the flights take a
unbelievable.
toll, so you gotta be smart.
All right, so the Toronto Raptors, they are the better team, or the team with the better record in this game. They're going to kind of jack up a 3 as the shot clock wound down, and they will come away with nothing on their opening possession in Toronto, taking on this Miami Heat squad. Eastern Conference matchup, or an Eastern Conference matchup. Neither team feeling very good from the floor. Both misses to open this. Wembanyama somehow is not getting called for an illegal screen set up there. That looked very bad. Wembanyama draws the double team. It just doesn't matter. He's just taller than everybody.
Standing easily over 7 feet. When Wemby gets that ball near the hoop, literally nothing a defender can do.
Here's Brown. He averages more than 12
Wemby
points
feels
a
like
game.
a cheat code
Production.
in real life.
Pass to Okongwu. Now here's Brunson.
Brunson inside.
Brunson
Spins around to his right. And they're going to go quick on the Toronto side and knock down the 3 on, that's not the correct name. Simmons, I didn't catch the first name, I apologize. Simmons comes away with the 3, and very quickly, it's a 2-possession game here, 5-0.
Brown outside. Heat moving the ball around.
That doesn't make any sense. That ball movement is so confusing. They're trying the alley-oops or the lob passes for easy layups, but it's just stolen away.
Wiggins passes to Simons.
Simons on the inside, and quickly it's a touchdown lead.
Well, really nice delivery from Andrew Wiggins. We know he's a gifted
I think I
scorer.
said Simmons
but that will
again.
really
I remember
smooth
having
out
trouble
his
with his last name. Because there isn't, I'm looking for the second M for Simmons, but it's Simons.
Okongwu a screen.
Simons. So I didn't catch his first name, and then I got his last name wrong, and I apologize. All right, that's a big three for the Miami Heat. Jaylen Brown. It's a nice find, open look. See if that helps them get into a bit of a rhythm. 2+ minutes before they were able to get points on the board. Deep 2 for Wemby, but can't get it to go. Vanderbilt comes away with the rebound. He'll throw it up to Brunson. I guess Wemby might not be as much of a cheat code as I think he is because the Spurs are like really bad in real life. Fires it inside. Porter Jr. kind of faked out nobody but a ghost. But he ends up going up for the easy shot and beats Jaylen Brown. 9-3 with 2 to go here in quarter number 1.
1:57 left to play in the first.
Jaylen Brown around the outside. Tries to drive to his right, tries to drive to his left. Spin move into a double team. He'll find Brunson on the outside. Brunson up over a defender. Contested look goes. Like a left-handed finish there. He's able to get some points and even fought through the defender to try and get the rebound. Nice effort there on that possession for the Miami Heat.
Well, it's easy to score when you're facing very little.
Physical inside. Oh, I was like, who had 51 points? Just the Toronto Raptors.
Taking advantage of a weak defense
Makes
and
sense.
capitalizing on every mistake.
Here's Brunson. Following the basket by
Brunson going to try and get a screen from Okongwu. He's going to drive inside. Nice feed. Vanderbilt with just such a sneaky little play on the baseline. They draw the double team up to them and then just a nice pass inside. That feels like it's just being on the same page. That's, I think, the chemistry you're looking for. Seeing what the players are, what your teammates are doing. I mean, just really nice play there. Okay. So they got out to a 7-0 lead, the Toronto Raptors did. It's been a 7-4 run since, cutting the lead down to 4.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And
Toronto will take a timeout to try and mitigate this damage. Let's see what they can do. They're going to make some substitutions with a minute to go here in quarter number 1.
And Tyus Jones subbed in for Porter. Now here's Jones.
Set that screen.
Shoots over Brunson.
Bit of a contested shot, but a nice job trying to get his speed to work off the screen. Another nice find inside for Miami, and they are doing an excellent job chipping away. That 3 was huge. It was a really nice play to find an open man in the corner to get things started. But since then, it's just been, hey, play good enough defense to force some misses. We can turn around on the offensive end, some nice passing, and easy looks inside have gotten them back in this game. Not that it would have been over after quarter number 1, but sometimes it can feel that way. And I talk about it a lot, but with the March Madness games, you see those teams that get close, or, you know, they can't ever get over a certain hump. They'll close it to 4, but they are more often than not throughout the game trailing by 10 to 11 points. That's not what you want to see from the first quarter of action. That's more second half stuff. Well, that's what we want to see in like the fourth quarter, kind of. One team just kind of falling off, the other team pulling away. Jones for 3 as the shot clock wound down is no good. And the Miami Heat have an opportunity for their first lead of the game where they can just at least tie it. Either way, they're going to get the final shot of the first quarter. It's going to be a step inside the three-point line, and he'll knock it down to tie the game at 11. 1.8 to go. They tried the long shot, but I don't think that was going to count at all. It was a really slow windup.
We'll be back in just a moment.
11. The Heat, 11.
So an interesting quarter of basketball there. Miami got off to a pretty horrendous start, but they were able to weather that storm, chip away at the lead, tie it up by the end of the first quarter, and we'll start a fresh, brand new game in quarter number 2. As we take a look at some highlights that I think are supposed to have music to them, but I have all the music turned off, and I still get copyright claims. I guess it's kind of there. Sounds kind of like music from Rush 2. Bow.
Some good action already in this one, but
11
even
to 11 to start quarter number 2.
Guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
And Bernie Simon's out there with Tyus Jones. Then there's Drew Eubanks. Then it's Robinson. And it's Nora in at the fourth spot.
Jaylen Brown finds Williams in the corner for an open 3, but he can't put it down. Oh, it looked like it was going to be a good shot, but just off the rim and does not work.
Deep 2 from Robinson.
Deep 2, and the Raptors come away with nothing until Eubanks slams it home. And that is a beautiful offensive rebound and jam to give the Raptors the lead back.
And that's so demoralizing to your opponent. To play great defense and have the possession end that way, that's tough to take.
Better start for the Raptors this time around, as they are able to make their first basket of the quarter. We're going to see an off-ball foul, which is just quite possibly the worst possible thing that you can have happen right now for the Miami Heat offensively. It was a team that we saw last week. I want to say it was the New Orleans, maybe?
For themselves.
And a lot of times, those shots they create for themselves come right at the basket.
I think it was New Orleans we saw last Monday, where it was just like every time they would try to make a run, they'd get a good defensive stop on the end, and they'd come back around, and it was a bad turnover. It was a stupid offensive foul, and that's what we have from Miami, as they leave a wide open man in the corner to take a 3. He misses it.
Trailing by 2. Doris, looking at the career of Jaylen Brown so far, his rise to stardom has been
driving inside a little too strong off the back iron.
He needed to become a more complete offensive player. By number 1, improving his handle, and number 2, becoming
Simmons for 3. He'll get it to go. And an 11-11 game has quickly turned into a 16-11 game. That's a 5-point lead now for... lead is now 5 for Toronto. I said that very convolutedly. My bad. All right, Miami, you've done it before, but you probably shouldn't make a habit of falling down 7 as the quarters start. Jaylen Brown's going to drive inside. He's going to go up over the defender, and he'll knock down the 2 to cut it down to a 1-possession game. Jaylen Brown, 7 points, 3 of 3. The rest of the team is 3 for 8 with 6 points. So Jaylen Brown doing a good job. Maybe just kind of put the team on your back for right now. If you can find someone who's wide open, I think that's a viable strategy, a viable option. But you might be the one called upon to keep this game close until some other guys can get into rhythm. See a timeout taken here, I believe, by Toronto. As we skip through this.
Some changes for Toronto. Victor Wembanyama is checked in for Eubanks.
I'm skipping through.
Porter subbed in for Jones.
Oh, and they're doing that without Wemby. Okay, so now Wemby's back on the floor. Good luck, Miami.
Now Williams. To the inside.
Williams? Oh, he had what he wanted. It's just that Wemby's 7'4", and that is the difference, the basket and the foul. So going to the line for the 3-point play. This Miami team is not looking good to start quarter number 2. But they have managed to mount a comeback before. I just wonder if they just aren't going to be able to take a lead in this game. It's been tied once. Jaylen Brown, deep 3, nothing. Not working out for him back there. Porter Jr. has the ball for the Toronto Raptors. He'll find Wemby. Has the takeaway. Oh my goodness. Just unfair. Just absolutely unfair. Wemby 4 points on a 2 of 3 shooting. And this lead is ballooned to 10 in a disastrous second quarter for the Miami Heat, in which they have scored 2 points through nearly the first entire 3 minutes. Oh my, how did you leave him open for that shot? Well, there are points 3 and 4. I don't know what the defense was doing there. He ended up behind him for no reason. Just for fun, I guess.
Porter inside. Brunson covering.
Jackson Jr. at the top. Nora.
Here's Simons. Shot clock at 5. Jackson a screen on Brunson.
Oh, and there's a 3 for Toronto.
And it's
okay.
Simons missing.
He at least forced kind of a bad shot. It was a desperation heave there.
Now here's Vanderbilt.
Obviously, Miami not out of this game because there's still an entire half to play, and they can make some adjustments. He's going to pick up a foul there. And see maybe a bit of a lacking defensively. I'll say he was pretty able to be beat there. Of course, I'm sure he's slow because he's very lanky. Slow is probably not the right word, but
they've done a great job of is making their presence felt inside.
Did look pretty good offensively inside there for the Miami Heat. They'll get the foul. First free throw is good.
Heat also with the sub. Williams is checked in. Both free throws good from Okongwu.
And both free throws are good.
1:19 left to play here in the half. Wembanyama looking it over. Fader on the way.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't believe he made that shot. The bank is open. It is a Monday, so the bank is open. The bank is closed when I post this video at 6 p.m. Pacific time, but it was open for Wemby there. It's a really good job by Okongwu to get to that loose ball. Not a great offensive possession there by Jalen Brunson, but it's picked up by his teammate, and the lead will stay at 7, under a minute to go here in the second quarter.
Here's Jones. Higgins outside.
Higgins back to Jackson Jr. He's going to set the screen to free him up for a 3. Off the iron, but no good. All right. Miami, they can cut this. They can cut into this lead just a little bit. 7-point deficit is nothing that they are. It's not a thing that they're unfamiliar with. Not a great thing to say about a basketball team, but
Jones against Brunson. That one falls.
That's a tough contested shot and comes away with a nice basket. A little bit of contact, but fought through it. Final shot will go up from Porter Jr., and that is a big miss if you're the Miami Heat. 26-21 is the score you're looking at here as we head to half. Been all Toronto here in this first half. However, Miami has made some runs here and there to try and figure out how to get back in this game.
First half, how do you limit that going forward?
There's been some airspace issues. I mean, there are a couple easy ones where we didn't rotate over on the weak side, but we're just not making that extra effort to get to the shooters.
And we know multiple effort is a big part of what you do. Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break. At the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
Hey, everybody, nothing like a little. They wanted some real oomph down low, and Rudy Gobert is here to deliver. A guy you can trust to completely own the paint.
Now back to our game. Pretty impressive first half for the Toronto Raptors.
You look at their shot chart, what stands out to me is...
Thanks for spending halftime with us. Time to get it back out to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
We didn't. Wemby, 8-0-2. You got Jalen Brunson, 6-0-3. As we conclude your halftime report. We are getting ready for the third quarter of action. 26-21 your score here. Like you haven't been with us the entire time. I say that like I'm taking commercial breaks or like you're just going to tune in randomly to this video at this exact moment. In case you're just joining us, like there's no other feed. It's not like anyone's raiding the channel or anything. Came up with a foul immediately, and I believe this will be 2 shots from the line for the Miami Heat, which is going to be a good start for them. They'll be able to cut the lead down to 3 with 2 made free throws. That's big. Now, Miami has to do a much better job, obviously, of staying in the game and not allowing the lead to balloon to such large deficits.
Raptors leading by 3.
But being able to be resilient and kind of stick around in games, in a game where multiple times it's kind of felt like, okay, is this the point where they're going to lose things and it's just going to turn into a blowout? Being able to bring it back, very nice, except for that defensive lapse there. Gives up the easy 2. It's a really nice find there on the Toronto Raptors in the paint. And a very easy basket. Push that lead back out to 5. Jaylen Brown. Is it Jaylen Brown and Jaylen Brown? An offensive 3-second violation. Miami, what are you doing? What is happening?
This is the newest crop of playmakers in the NBA.
Amen Thompson leading.
A number of gifted passers entering the NBA this season, and he's right up there among the very best. I like what I've seen from him as a distributor.
Simons, the pass to Porter. Comes up empty down low.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
Higgins against Brunson. And there's the feed to Okongwu.
Brunson into Okongwu. Okongwu can fire back outside to Brunson.
Over Wiggins. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
That is a bad offensive possession for the Miami Heat, who come up empty. I guess Jalen Brunson is technically playing on the other team.
No doubt. And he can be trusted on to take the
teams that both have like red as like a primary color. Very confusing to me.
And he's a solid creator for his teammates.
Obviously, it's red and white and red and black, so like pretty easy to determine who is on which team.
Brunson against Porter.
It's a nice job to fight through that screen. The speed, though, just kind of beat him, and I think that's maybe what the screen does a little bit more, is just kind of giving you that step. That was such a good opportunity for Toronto to really put the hammer down in this game and knock the lead up to 9, but good defensive rotation there by the Miami Heat to get back and make sure that they can't. Terrible offensive possession again for Miami, who's had like 3 in a row of a bad shot and 2 turnovers. It's led to no points, though, for the Toronto Raptors on those last 2 turnovers. 30-23, the score remains. 3 turnovers in a row for the Miami Heat offense. They have to settle down. Someone, if you're Eric Spoelstra, I think you have to call a timeout and get this team settled and figure out what they're doing, because they are just falling apart on the offensive side. They've put up 1 terrible shot and 3 turnovers on 4 consecutive possessions.
You're going to be one of the elites in this league.
Then they commit the foul on the other end, so they're going to give them 2 shots from the line. Both shots up, both shots good.
This is about the last guy you want to send
It
to the
is
stripe right now. They keep fouling him,
32-23.
he keeps making them.
Porter against Brunson. And there's the call.
Oh, another foul? A blocking foul, interestingly called on Kevin Porter Jr.
Didn't get on balance quick enough.
We'll keep the ball on this end of the floor. Shot clock set at 14.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the 3rd quarter.
Brown bounce pass inside to Williams. A little surprised to see Brown pass up a really nice open look beyond the arc to throw it inside to a man who was well covered on the interior.
Kicks it to Jackson.
Wemby with the ball. He gets up over the defender, unsurprisingly, because he's so tall. But he cannot get the shot to fall. Okongwu
dishes it to Brown.
Crowd chants defense. That's the 2nd time that they have tried that. The second time they have tried that lob pass, and the second time Wemby, 7'4" Wemby, by the way, has been just in the way. It is a disastrous decision right there. It's the second time that's happened. They've lost 3 turnovers in consecutive possessions here in this third quarter. This Miami Heat team is a mess. It is... every time they make it interesting, I guess, but then they just are completely falling apart here, and we have a 12-point deficit with 1.5 minutes
some changes here for the Raptors.
To go here in quarter number 3. This was not a day of great games, though I think you can probably pick some teams that have like more competitive records and see a better game. Of course, you could also see that Portland Trail Blazers Cleveland Cavaliers game, which was easily the worst game of the season. Easily.
And there's the bucket as Brunson finishes it off.
So Jalen Brunson inside finishes
don't be fooled
beating
by the hype,
Jackson
guys.
Jr.
Is a
there.
Terrific finisher inside.
They'll cut the lead down to 10. Let's see if Miami has a little bit of fight in them. I imagine they would. Eric Spoelstra is a good coach.
Outside, Jones. On the wing, Jackson.
Into the corner for Jones. Jones comes away with 3. You know, it's not terrible. I think it's actually worse offense than you might imagine, where the result is a wide open 3. Oh my goodness. That's, off the top of my head, 6 turnovers. 6 turnovers.
There's 42 seconds left
wow.
to play here in the third.
What a...
Toronto working the ball around now. Here's Jackson, and the Raptors tack on 2 more.
And after really leaning on that 3-point shot in the first half.
Hey, the Raptors are a good team, by the way. If there are no games on the 6th, might just do a couple of maybe the best matchups from the 5th or the 7th. I think that would be kind of the advantage of moving this show to once a week with more of I don't know if like a quadruple header or whatever would make sense, but maybe changing the format a little bit. I like the day and date stuff, I really do. But sometimes there are days like today where there was like the one good game kind of between teams with good records. And then, granted, this was my mistake to pick this game because it's now a 16-point game, but... Okay. All right, well... This Miami Heat team is really bad. I don't know if it's just an off night or this is how they consistently perform, but... should maybe look at taking the Heat off the schedule because they are bad. The offense just looks disheveled, discombobulated. They forced way too many like quick passes, quick runs up the floor in that third quarter several times that just lead to terrible turnovers. Awful turnovers. They got a little lucky on the defensive side that they were able to negate a couple of those turnovers, like turning into points, but...
While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
I mean, my goodness.
It's just true artistry right there.
But what I was saying, as we have a blowout here, that we don't have to really have to pay attention to the game for the moment. I think the advantage of switching it down to one episode a week, or perhaps maybe just kind of tinkering with the format, would be to just kind of find the best matchups throughout the week and see. The problem is, I think a lot of the teams are kind of separating themselves top to bottom. Simons got his name right on that one.
How many times have we seen a
I can't process. It's an
Enfrey ending with a basket
coming
off a pretty pass.
Heat shooting 52% from the
field. I'm not sure. I can't process the name quickly enough when it pops on the. Oh, you know what I could do is I could just look at it in the stats. Hold on, there's nothing interesting happening here. Box score. Anferny. Anferny. Okay, Anthony Simons. 12 points. He is leading the way for the Toronto Raptors.
To the middle.
Good for you. This game has gotten wildly out of hand at 18 points. I mean, you're going to see these kinds of games, like, anyway. That's just the realism of the NBA and any sport. A lot of conversation talking about the fact that we have not had good semifinal games in the college football playoff, and obviously TCU was blown out 65-7 to Georgia last year, following a couple of very good semifinal games. But, hey, sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes you hope that it's going to be a good game, and it just isn't. And that's an interesting pass there to Eubanks. It looked like he had the step, but I guess that one makes the most sense. Trailing, he's beat the defender. Brown's totally out of position.
It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Springer the pass to Williams.
Stay tuned, by the way. The Christmas episode will be probably all 5 games of the Christmas Day slate. There should be a special episode of Taste Test up that day, hopefully, if it's financially viable.
Right now, racking up the assists by playing so unselfishly,
but we'll
just finding the open man.
Foul here, so we'll skip through this stuff.
That they've been very effective at is shooting the long-range jumpers. The defense has been having trouble closing out to them in this game in particular.
And the first one at the line is good. Doris, no one has their finger on the pulse of the league like you. So, that being said, what do you think the next coaching trend's going to be?
I think the current coaching trend has had such success, we may not see a change for a while. The trend is hiring young assistant coaches to get in charge of their own operation. Look no further than guys like Mark Dagno and Taylor Jenkins.
They are just running the clock down here. Oh my goodness. It's a terrific defensive rotation, but he got beat badly off the starting line. It's great defense, though, in the paint. Okay, all right, Jaylen Brown kind of making things, trying to make things a little interesting as we approach the halfway point of the fourth quarter. I mean, they don't need a whole lot. They probably the next minute to a minute and a half, they would need to cut this down to about 7.
Now here's Simons.
Simons. Okay, well, that doesn't help. It's just a really nice play. That's such a good shot. I mean, it's a really nice right-hand finish. It's contested. It's not an easy look, but he makes it look easy.
Your opponent knows they have absolutely zero chance of a comeback, and a nice finish by him.
Brown on the inside flips it up and in, and they cut the lead back down to 13, trading 2s here. I mean, if you can get on a roll, I think defensively is where you really need to improve. They'll implement some full court pressure here to maybe try and force a turnover. Just kidding. Why would you not sprint to the basket for 2 free points? There is no reason that you should ever call a timeout in that scenario. Are you kidding me? It was a wide open 2.
Let's check in with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, able to listen in on what Darko
Okay, 13-point game here, 2:20 to go.
We're up. All the pressure is on them. Let's just keep playing our game. Makes sense because they've got a nice lead late in this game. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David.
A good find in the middle there. Wemby comes up with the offensive rebound and the putback off the glass. And this Toronto Raptors team is just too much for the Miami Heat to handle. Regulation time. Go ahead and make sure that you put hope that there might be overtime. Vanderbilt, that's a nice little dunk there. It's a beautiful feed inside. And you know what the key is there? Wemby, nowhere near the basket. All the way there on the right side of your screen. Just
that's the result of the work put in.
That definitely helps.
Yeah, they definitely should use some clock here.
Wemby not really using the clock like he should. He does come away with the offensive rebound, kicks it back outside to Jackson Jr. Jackson Jr. for 3, he can't make it. Okongwu beats Wemby for the rebound. They can cut this to 10 if they get a 3. Jaylen Brown a little dicey there with Wemby. in the area. Can't get the offensive rebound. Jackson Jr. comes down with it. And they'll bring this ball back up the floor, down 13, or up 13 points, excuse me. And that is it. That's there were a couple times I thought maybe if you can make a run, especially off these misses, and that's been the problem, right? Miami hasn't looked great on offense consistently throughout this game. They made the run, they chipped away at the lead early, which gives you hope that if they fall down again, they can maybe make that run a second time. They just haven't been able to take advantage of the missed shots by the Toronto Raptors and turning those into points. Here you have Jaylen Brown not passing the rock. He's going to get lucky that Dort trailed and put that back. But he should have passed it back. I know I said that Jaylen Brown, it should be on his shoulders. He had more points than the rest of his team combined. You're double team. You're double team. Kick it, throw it for three. See what happens. Simons picking up another foul.
What I love about Jaylen Brown is his commitment to improve.
Jaylen Brown will go to the line to shoot two here. 31.8 seconds, and he misses that first free throw.
Still another level to come.
And it's a completely new group for Toronto. He's able to hit the second one.
He has hit the second. 31.8, still a pretty full stadium.
Missed opportunities at the line are the last thing they need right now.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clock.
Set a screen for some reason. Not really much of a screen. Driving around the outside. Not a great two, not a terrible two.
Here's Pritchard. Passes it to Bassey.
Bassey to Brown. Brown to Hendricks. There's a nice three. Make the final line look a little more respectable, down 7. But a 51-44 game that was not as close as the score may indicate. This was a dominant Toronto performance. Going to be curious to see who the player of the game is. I don't think it would be Wemby. He did have some really nice defensive plays, a couple steals.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much,
Jaron. Oh, Wemby's a rookie, so they wouldn't have any of these audio clips. That's interesting. I hadn't even considered that.
It's progress. You know, everything is progress. A win you can learn something from, a loss you can learn something from. So we're taking every little bit of it, and we're just happy to get one at home today.
It's a step in the process, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
Thank you, David.
Who is the player of the game?
Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David
Anthony
Aldridge.
Simmons. Okay.
This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching.
That makes sense. I get that.
The game, and Fernie Simons.
Simons. Frick. I said the first name and I goofed up the second name. Last name. I'm sorry, Simons. Okay. Box score, taking a quick look at it. Simons had 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting. 5 assists for him. Wemby, 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting as well. He was 1 for 1 from downtown. 2 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block to go along with those points. Heat-wise, it's Brown and Brunson combining for 25 points on 11 of 19 shooting. They were combined 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Nobody else. I mean, Okongwu contributed nicely. 5 rebounds. He did have a couple of turnovers. Brunson had 4 turnovers all by himself, which is as many as Okongwu, Vanderbilt, and Williams had combined. So that's not great. 8 turnovers between those players. And then Springer, he threw one in just for fun. I don't know that the Raptors did not have a single turnover. So attributed to them. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Okay, so let's simulate through. No. Shoot, I hit the wrong button. Well, dang it. I was just trying to simulate through the day and I hit season. That's all right. That's okay. 42-35, Wizards beat the Nets. They improved to 12-9. A miserable 2 points in the first quarter for the Brooklyn Nets, who fall to 9-11. The Warriors beat the Thunder by 1 to improve to 8-13. 48-47, your final there. And then the Magic, I specifically did not pick that game, huh? The Magic clobber the Celtics 31. Let's see. Oh, so I definitely lost part of this day, which is unfortunate. I wonder if it saved correctly, because this Bucks Sixers game I was kind of taking a peek at, and there's just nothing on the 6th. So let's exit. This game does not auto-save in the way that you think it would or think it should. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my gosh. It is the worst thing that game does. It plasters the My Team crap all over the place. Okay, so it did actually save. Okay, so let's check the daily view. So the Bucks beat the Sixers 49-47. Let's simulate through the rest of this day then. Simulate through date. And then there's just no games on the 6th. I don't understand why that is. Rockets Nuggets would be a good game. The Cavaliers are 10-10. They're taking on a good Knicks team. So we might have to get funky with it. Okay. All right. Maybe we don't. Raptors Bucks. I know we just watched the Raptors, but I think and this is like part of the problem too, is like I probably should have looked ahead, but there weren't any other like really good games. I think we could do that. God, I wish this Memphis Grizzlies team was playing somebody else. Maybe we'll take a look at. Well, we had the Rockets last week as well. I'm playing the Denver Nuggets, so we won't worry about that. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at the Cavaliers and the Knicks, and then we'll do the best. I mean, that's the best matchup. You have to go with that. Have to go with that. Jazz Spurs is kind of tempting. Pacers Sixers. So I think that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to take a look at the 7th on the 6th. So it's kind of weird, but you'll just have to stick with me. It should be back to normal on the 11th. Over here, I think is where things kind of line back up, but we'll see what happens. That in-season tournament, I think, really threw my thing for a loop. I don't even know. Whatever. That'll do it for today's games. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm sorry that the second game was a blowout, but hey, you know what? Sometimes that happens, and that's just how it goes. Obviously, as a content creator, I want to put the best games out there so that people will come back and check stuff out. But you know what? Not always in my control, and the Miami Heat aren't a very good team, as it seems. So there you have it. Thank you again for watching. If you'd like more NBA content, I'll be back on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be taking a look at December 7th, though it will be the 6th. And then next week should be evened out, and we should be back on track. So thank you again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want more, subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll be notified when I post new videos. Check out this morning's video where I retest some NFL 2K games to see if they actually do work for random rosters, thanks to MLB 2K. It's a very long, weird, convoluted story. So check that out. If you'd like, tomorrow, be back with Random Rosters episode number 1, and I'm not going to tell you what game it is. You have to go watch the other video to see what tomorrow's video is. Be back on Wednesday with something. Thursday, co-op. Friday, something. Saturday, taste test. Sunday, something. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Good sports. Go bye.